Koniordou, Greek Minister of Culture and Sport. You have the floor, please.
Your Excellency, Mr. President of the European Parliament, Your Excellency, Mr. President of the European Commission, Your Excellency, Madam President of the Culture and Education Committee of the European Parliament, Your Excellencies, fellow Ministers of Culture, dear friends. It is my honor to be here amongst you here today. I would like to thank Mr. Tajani for the invitation to participate in this extremely important conference. Dear friends, we all know we are at a crossroad. We all feel we're about to say farewell, if not already, to an old, precious and rich world, while preparing for a yet unknown future. It comes to my mind the title of a film by Theo Angelopoulos, The Suspended Step of the Stork. It is a moment of exciting dilemmas and consequent decisions we need to make on an individual basis, but above all, collectively. Let us make a leap in time to the 5th century before Christ in Greece. It was the golden age of Western civilization where democracy was born in Athens. It was a moment in the human adventure when civilization was emerging with a big bang of spirit from the archaic world to a new world full of questions, dialogue, dispute, conflict, war, sometimes plague and famine, in which the new consciousness of the individual was trying to balance the previous collective consciousness of the family, the clan, and to form, on a private as well as collective level, the new world ahead. We must not forget that some of the works of poets and philosophers we admire today were born amidst these conditions. Tragedies and comedies, theatrical plays of our great poets were performed within the Peloponnesian War. Our times today have interesting analogies. Today, our civilization is preparing yet again for a new leap in history towards an unclear, pending future that creates fertile ground full of challenges, opportunities, creative possibilities on an unprecedented, universal and collective basis. This global consciousness leads to the awareness that everything is linked with one another, depends on one another, that we're all part of one big entity, our global village. However, as one should expect, the uncertainty of our changing times gives ground to fear that bears opposite forces, centrifugal dynamics, distrust, isolation, separation, intolerance. This is the moment that we are called to make important, urgent decisions for our common global future world. We need the wisdom, the experience of our past heritage. We need to take with us the jewels of our common heritage to this new journey, to connect these jewels with our contemporary societies, with our young people, and with sustainable development respecting the environment. Like contemporary Noahs, we need to create an ark to offer the new generation what is precious and must not be lost in turmoil and urgency of our times, and to balance with the new technological achievements. We need to connect this cultural heritage with the priorities of our time so that it is not covered and lost as unnecessary or uninteresting by the rubble of waste and by the noise of nonsense. What has been taken for granted concerning cultural heritage in the past is not the case today. We need to ask ourselves again basic questions in order to take our decisions in this critical crossroad. This is a process that culture and education can offer to the contemporary European citizen, which lies in the nucleus of our European identity, marvellously diverse in its unity. Europe has offered the world a collective cultural island of rich diversity with common values, radiating its culture to the world, offering its heritage as a connecting net to sustain its unity, to protect and support the creators, artists, and their mobility. Today, we need to ask ourselves again these basic questions, face basic dilemmas based on our common values and heritage, and take collective decisions. We need to face two basic issues, the refugee issue and the environmental issue, which are interconnected. The refugee issue is a pressing dilemma which deals with human lives and our cohesive future. This issue may create opportunities through solidarity, but if undealt with, it creates xenophobic ground for extreme voices that spark fear and threaten our unity and isolate us from each other. The environmental issue, due to the climatic change, has also not only economic but cultural parameters that will determine our future coexistence. Dear friends, in Europe, we share myths and symbols, some of them from ancient Greek mythology, the Trojan women, the suppliants, Medea's destructive wrath that we can learn from. A couple of days ago in the European Cultural Heritage Summit in Berlin, where we signed a call to action to demonstrate the commitment of so many citizens, organizations and institutions at all levels of governance to cultural heritage and their readiness to work together to build the momentum and ensure a lasting legacy created by the European Year of Cultural Heritage. At the discussion that followed, I brought the example of how our villages in the past had the wisdom of survival when they helped each other in extreme cases of fire or natural disasters. It is such spirit of solidarity we need today, out of wisdom and common sense. These are the two main concerns that we need to face. Dear friends, learning from our cultural past is important. Preserving the precious tools of wisdom from our ancestors in order to assist us with our new challenges. Therefore, culture and cultural heritage is today absolutely necessary, something we cannot have the illusion that we can live without. Necessity for the ancient Greeks was the most powerful goddess. Cultural heritage is not only to make our world more beautiful and meaningful. Culture is a necessary compass to keep us on the same ship of our collective survival, the same track to find the right answers, the precious tools to offer the younger generation when the time comes for them to place their foot on ground. Are they going to create the new Big Bang of our civilization? Will they be prepared to turn this experience into creation for all? We need to be aware with alert consciousness in order to carve the new path for the benefit and happiness of the people and mankind. Dear friends, the stakes are too high for each part of Europe to address alone. Above all, we need to be together and address the new changes together as united Europe with its values of democracy, tolerance, inclusiveness, creativity, solidarity and hospitality, and with culture as our core. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lydia. And now